This is the grand final, the MasterChef New Zealand grand final. Today, because there's so much at stake, I'm questioning myself. I thought about the pressure. And I just stopped still in the middle of the challenge.
When I see Jax have a meltdown, I could just see that she had lost it.
Jax, I'm sort of watching you and you're looking like you're having these doubts. What's going on?
I know, for some reason, I'm really questioning myself. You know, I've done all these challenges and I've been fine, and all of a sudden today is the day that I decide I'm going to have, like, a hissy fit.
Stop. No hissy fits today.
Yes.
Don't give up now. You've come too far to even contemplate having a hissy fit.
I know, Simon, but it is easier said than done.
Jax.
Yeah.
Look me in the eye and tell me you're going to do this.
Simon, I am going to do this. I am going to do this. Thank you.
Girl.
And he gave me the high five, bang, and I was back into it. My plan with my pork is I'm searing it in a pan for 2 to 3 minutes just to get some colour on it. And then I place it in the oven, 2 minutes, and I'll try, bring it out and let it rest.
I'm a bit shocked when I puree my parsnip and I give it a taste to get the seasoning right. I don't know what's happened, but there's little woody bits in my puree. It's weird. I'm not sure. Maybe I didn't peel the parsnip properly. I'm very surprised. I haven't had this before. I was wanting it to be really, really smooth. That bit was okay, but then I just think, why don't you just sieve it? Make sure I get all those bits out. So I'm really lucky that I picked up on that, because I would hate to serve the judges woody puree.
I put my kidney in the pan, sear it, bring it out and let it rest. And then I start on my sauce for my kidneys. And once I start doing my onions and my garlic and my bacon, the engine starts running again and I feel like I'm back in my game.
Smells good. Smells good. Smells good. Smells good. Smells good.
OK, guys, half an hour to go.
Remember, you are the MasterChef finalists. Your dishes have to show us that.
But when I took the pork confit out and took a slice, I was absolutely terrified. It's actually really tender. I'm actually quite surprised. So I think now what I've got to do is crisp up the crackling. I'm just using the mortar and pestle as a really heavy weight to weigh down the pork. That will crisp up the crackling better.
I can tell that my pork feels right because I pull my pork out of the oven a couple of times and just squeeze it a little bit. When it's medium rare, it just has a spongy texture. Third time I pull it out and it just feels perfect, so I just pull it out and put it on the side and let it rest in the pan.
OK, guys, 15 minutes to go.
I'm happy with how crispy the crackling is. Add some honey and some really finely chopped rosemary, and then just start basting the pork belly with it to get a glaze over it.
Are you on track?
Yep,
just
I
over
am.
10 minutes
Yep.
to go.
All I've got left to do is cook the pork kidneys. Cooking the kidneys, I just really like the combination with ginger, which is what I picked up from my dad, so thank you, Dad.
Plating out and I tasted it. The texture is good, it's still quite tender. I'm really happy with it.
5 minutes to get it up on the plate.
The last 5 minutes, things are quite chaotic again. Oh, crap, I forgot to add in some spring onion. I forgot to fry my spring onion with the kidneys. I make a split-second decision to grab another pan, heat up some more oil, chuck in those spring onions, and then add them to the kidneys.
2 minutes to go. Give them some encouragement, guys. Let's get them over the line.
Contestants are cheering me on and I just feel brilliant. Really happy with that. Don't like it too pink, do you know what I mean?
1 minute to go. Step away from your bench.
Not 100% I've cooked the pork belly right, and because I've never cooked kidneys before, I'm just hoping that they're not too overcooked.
Yeah, I'm really happy with what I've done, so I feel confident. 40 points. The judge's perception is what it's all about. It's not about mine, it's about theirs. My pork kidney, I have pan-fried it with some streaky bacon, onions, garlic, and I've done a reduction of cherry juice and some port wine. And then on the bottom there, I have some pan-fried mushrooms. And then my pork fillet, it's in a chilli kind of seasoning, and it's on a warm salad of fennel, pear and apple in a thyme butter.
Thanks, Jax.
Thank you very much. Enjoy. Walking away, leaving my dishes with the judges, but I'm questioning again. That was enough.
I guess the first thing to do is to talk about the presentation.
What do you think, Simon?
Well, I quite like the presentation of the kidneys. And by resting all the kidneys on top of the mushrooms, at least you're going to get all the flavours in one mouthful. I think for her pork fillet, it needs more sauce. It needs more something. It just looks a little bit too plain.
Well, for me, the kidneys are absolutely delicious. Beautifully cooked, prepped properly. For me, it's a great dish.
This is a kidney dish par excellence, and I don't think I've ever tasted a kidney dish this good. It's sensational.
I'm knocked out by this dish. I think it's excellent.
I mean, she's used ingredients for this kidney dish, which I thought were a little bit unusual. I thought the cherries, I think she's done a fantastic job.
Jax's pork fillet tastes a lot better than what it looks.
I want some choux. I want a little more meaty sort of lubrication to pull all that together.
She has lost a lot of the marinade flavouring off the pork as she's cooked it, and that sort of let that down a little bit.
I have no idea how this judging is going to go. Hopefully I can at least maintain that lead. Even better, hopefully I can get a few more points on top of her.
Nadia, describe your dishes to us.
Honey and rosemary glaze, pork belly with sautéed fennel, red wine sticky pear, parsnip puree and parsnip chips, and pork kidney flash fried with ginger, garlic, oyster sauce and spring onion, and that's served with a green bean and cucumber pickle and a green chilli paste. Thank you.
Nadia is a little bit famous for messy presentation, and I think this is much better than she usually does.
I love the way Nadia has cooked these kidneys. I think flash frying them with, you know, ginger and spring onions was brilliant. The pickle works really well with it, but the chili paste, I think, is it just kills everything in your taste buds.
I can sum this pork dish that Nadia has done up very quickly. It's the best goddamn thing I've ever tasted on MasterChef, without any doubt. I love it.
Nadia has cooked the pork beautifully. I think the parsnip puree is nice, rich and creamy. I think she's done a really, really good job, considering I didn't think that pork belly was going to be ready in time. So she really pulled this one out of the bag, I think.
Yeah. I think that there were two dishes of the day, and that was the kidneys and the pork belly, and they are two of some of the best dishes we have tasted this year on MasterChef. Absolutely sensational. You both cooked an offal dish and a pork dish with fantastic results. You should both be very proud.
Thank you, Josh.
Jax, I spent the first 3 years of my career working in a restaurant that specialised in offal, and I can tell you that your offal dish today was the best kidneys I've ever tasted in my life. Pork, it was just a fraction overcooked. The rub, the jerk seasoning was kind of lost a little bit, but the salad underneath, the warm salad, was just sensational. Awesome performance.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nadia started off with some kidneys. They were pretty damn good.
Cool.
But your pork dish was the best dish I've ever eaten on MasterChef.
Well done.
Thank you, Simon.
Jax, Simon Wright thought that your kidney dish was faultless. He loved it. I loved it too. I take my chef's hat off to you for that one. It was really, really good. Nadia, Simon Wright thought your pork was absolutely faultless and superb.
At this stage of the competition, to both of you girls, that kidney dish and that pork belly dish were two of the best dishes we have seen, and they were the two sort of dishes that I just want to go home and sit down and eat right now, because they were sensational. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
And so to your scores. Jax, I gave your dishes an 8.
I scored your dishes a 9.
Well done, Jax.
Simon Wright scored your dishes an overall score of 8. And I scored your dishes an 8 also.
I'm absolutely ecstatic.
Giving you a total for the challenge of 33. Plus your 12 points from the taste test gives you 45 out of 60.
Nadia, I gave your 2 dishes 9.
I scored your dishes 10.
A 10? You are kidding. You've got to be kidding. I could never have imagined I'd get a 10.
Takes a lot to get a 10 out of me.
Well done.
Thank you, Simon.
Simon Wright scored your dishes a 9. I scored your dishes a 9 also, giving you a total in this challenge of 37 out of 40. When added to your taste test challenge, you now have a total of 55 out of 60.
I'm really, really proud of myself. I can't believe I've beat her in both challenges so far. Absolutely amazing.
Which means you have a lead of 10 points going into the next challenge.
Jax, 10 points isn't an insurmountable margin. You can do it.
Yeah. I am so determined to claw those points back. I can do this. I can win.
So to your 3rd challenge, the mystery box.
Today's mystery box contains ingredients for a classic British dish that has tested most chefs at some stage or another.
The first thing I think is maybe a roast with Yorkshire pudding.
It is a classic. It's fantastic when it's done well.
Second kidney pie, bangers and mash.
But there's a real art to getting it just right.
Pies with pea puree.
I'll bet you're itching to know what it is.
Yeah. Omelette, fish and chips.
You may now lift the lids on your mystery boxes.
Oh, my God.
I'm terrified. I have a bad feeling about this challenge. I don't think this challenge is going to go my way.